this was the second set that was also there in the GATE 2021. Let us do that also. The first question is a simple one. If x minus half whole square minus this is equal to x plus 2, then what is the value of x that they have asked? Very simple. Just open the brackets. So the first one will be, this is a minus b whole square types. So it is x square minus x, because 2 into x into half will be 2 and half will cancel. So it is only x plus 1 by 4 half square minus, see this whole square would be x square, see minus 3x plus 9 by 4, and this is equal to x plus 2. So let us open the brackets. Obviously we can understand x square and x square will cancel. So what will remain? 4x, as you can see, plus 3x minus x obviously will be 3x. Okay. Let us open the brackets. So that would be minus x plus 1 by 4 plus 3x minus 9 by 4. This x will come to that side, so this is minus x, and this will be 2. So naturally this would be x only remaining, because minus x and plus 3x is x, and that would be equal to 2 plus 9 by 4 minus 1 by 4. Now 9 by 4 minus 1 by 4 is 8 by 4, that is equal to 2. So that would be equal to 4, and hence we can say x is equal to 4. This was a simple one. Beware of the sign mistakes. Pen is to knife is, pen is to write is equivalent to knife is to what? See, out of all the options, it is clearly apparent that this knife is to cut. A pen writes, a knife cuts. So that would be the analogy. This is an analogical question. 6 students, P, Q, R, S, T, and U, with distinct heights, compare their heights and make the following observations. See, S is taller than R, Q is the shortest of all. See, suppose these are the 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is in the ascending order of heights. So they have said in observation number 2, Q is the shortest of all. So this must be. They have said U is taller than only one student. It means U must be the second tallest, because he is taller than only one student. They have said S is taller than R, but I don't know where R is seated. So naturally this is right now not possible for me. So I go on to observation 4. T is taller than S, but is not the tallest. Now you see, if S were here, T could have been here, or else if S were here, T could have been here. I hope you can understand. T could not have been the tallest, so that is confirmed. So any of these conditions were true. If S were here, then T could only have been here. So these are the 3 conditions that result is. See, all these 4 conditions can result from observation 4. Okay. Now it is said S is taller than R. I mean only these three conditions because I somehow didn't put this would be the final one. So only S is taller than R. But here you see S cannot be taller than R. So this is not done. Here you see S cannot be taller than R. So this is not done. But here S can be taller than R because here R can be placed. Now who is the only person left? P, Q, R, S, T and U. So naturally P is left. So this must be P. So I can say that the final order is P, T, S, R and U. So this is the final case. The number of students that are taller than R is the same as the number of students shorter than. So you see taller than R there are 3 students. So the number of students shorter than S will also be 3. So I will say uh, what is this? I presume S is with B. So I will say B is the correct answer because it should be S that is the correct answer. Okay. I hope this is understood. The number of students in 3 classes is in the ratio of 3 is to 13 is to 6. If 18 students are added to each class, the ratio changes to 15 is to 35 is to 21. So they have asked you what is the total number of students that are there in the beginning. Okay. So see, the initial ratio was 3 is to 13 is to 6. After 18 students are added, the ratio becomes this. Let the number of students here be 3K, 13K and 6K. And let the number of students here be 15P, 35P, 21, where the constant of proportionalities in the first ratio was K, is K, and the constant of proportionality in the second ratio is P. So I select any two of them because only two would be necessary. My aim is to find out K and P. So the smallest of them all is the first case and the second case. I mean rather the third case. The middle case contains bigger figures. So I will avoid that. So I will say that 15P minus 3K must be equal to 18. That would be my first equation. And the second equation would be 21P minus 6K is equal to 18. What have they asked us? They have asked us in the beginning. That means it would be beneficial if we knew K earlier. So we will try to eliminate P. So how to eliminate P? Very simple. We can eliminate P by you see 15 and 21. What is the LCM? 15 and 21. I'm sure you all know how to find the LCM. So you see, this is it. So 15 sevens are 105. So the LCM is 105. So we will try to convert both of these to 105. So the first one will become, if I multiply by 7, 105p minus 21k is equal to 7 into 18 is 126. We must know our tables. And this one would be if we multiplied by 5 only. So 105p minus 30k will be equal to 18 fives are, that is 90. So we subtract this. So this cancels off and we see here that 9k is equal to 36 and hence k is equal to 4. So we automatically say that the total students here would have been 3K plus 13K plus 6K. So the total students initially would be equal to 3K plus 13K plus 6K, that is 22K. 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 plus 13 is 22, and hence must be equal to 88. So we will take this answer 88 as the answer. Hope we have understood. A transparent square sheet is shown above is folded along the dotted line. The folded sheet will look like what? Very clearly, if we fold it, I hope you can understand that this will come up like this and these will turn up like this. So that is option B. It's a pretty simple one. Gauri said that she can play the keyboard dash her sister. So as the word says, no. As nicest as, no. As better as, no. As well as, absolutely correct. Gauri said that she can play the keyboard as well as her sister. Listening to music during exercise improves exercise performance and reduces discomfort. Scientists researched whether listening to music while studying can help students learn better, and the results were inconclusive. Students who needed external stimulation for studying fared worse, while students who did not need any external stimulation benefited from music. Which of the following statements is the correct inference? Inference means conclusion. Correct inference of the above passage. Let's go on. Number 1. Listening to music has a clear positive effect on physical exercise. Music has a positive effect on learning only in some students. I will say that this is absolutely correct because it has been clearly mentioned that listening to music during exercise improves exercise performance and reduces discomfort. So this part is absolutely okay. It has also been said that listening to music while studying, I mean, some students did not improve, did not have any effect. They fared worse, while some students benefited. So has a positive learning only in some students, those students who do not need external stimulation. So I will say this is absolutely correct. But if it were an exam, I would never have gone on to the next options. I wouldn't have wasted time. But because this is not an exam we are discussing here, let us go forward to the others also. Listening to music has no effect on learning and a positive effect on physical exercise. This is correct. But no effect on learning is wrong because it has been said that the results were inconclusive. So if it is inconclusive, you cannot say that it has no effect. Neither can you say that it has effect. Okay, so it is inconclusive. So this is wrong because this is not right. Listening to music has a clear positive effect on learning in all students. Absolute wrong sentence. Okay, so naturally, and music has a positive effect only in some students who exercise, which is absolutely wrong. So this is totally wrong. The next one, listening to music has a clear positive effect both on physical exercise and on learning. Once again wrong, because on learning it is inconclusive. So physical exercise is correct, but learning is wrong. So this is wrong. So you see, our first conclusion was absolutely correct. A jigsaw puzzle has two pieces. One of the pieces is shown above. It is this one. This is the one that is shown. Which one of the options, for the missing piece when assembled will form a rectangle? So which one of the options form this? Let us check. See, this will definitely not, because this part is missing. This part is missing here. Now you say this one will also not be definitely not there, because even though this part is present, but it is on the outside, whereas this must be on the inside. So this is also out. Now we are left with these two. Now here, if we see, if we notice these two depths here, see, after this there's a long way inside, whereas here there is no such long way inside. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this will definitely not fit in the hole. So this is mistaken, and hence option A will be the correct, as can be clearly seen. You flip it over and you place it like that, it absolutely fits it. So option A is the correct one. And if we look at it sans all these, we can see this. That is absolutely the correct one that fits. So that is the option. This is all about visual, clicking. The number of units of a product sold in 3 different years and the respective net profits are presented in the figure above. The cost per unit in year 3 was Rs1, which was half the cost in year 2. The cost per unit in year 3 was 1/3 of the cost in year 1. Taxes were paid on the selling price at 10%, 13%, and 15% respectively for the 3 years. Net profit is calculated as the difference between the selling and the sum of the cost and taxes paid in that year. So you see, there are 3 years given: year 1, year 2, and year 3. So the number of units sold and the net profit is given. Number of units is the striped one, and net profit is the shaded one, black shaded one. Okay. Uh, the net profit is given in rupees, where this is in the number of units. They have said that the cost in year 3 was Rs1, which was half the cost in year 2. So the cost in year 2 was Rs2, right? And the cost per unit in year 3 was 1/3 of the cost per unit in year 1. So year 1 would have been Rs3 per unit, right? So year 1 the cost price was 3 rupees per unit. Year 2 the cost price was 2 rupees per unit, and year 1 the cost price was Rs1 per unit. The taxes were collected at the rate of 10%, 13%, and 15% for 3 years. Net profit is calculated as the difference between the selling price and the sum of the cost as well as the taxes paid in that year. So let us, whenever you face this sort of data interpretation problems, make a sort of a chart. See, year 1, year 2, year. The first, number of items. So let us quickly put in. So it is 100, 200, and 300. So it is 100, 200, and 300. The next, the net profit. Let us quickly put in it's this dark shaded 240, 296 and 210. 240, 296, 210. Then it is the cost per unit. Cost per unit. We already found that out. See, this is rupees 3, this is rupees 2, and this is rupees 1. So it is 3, 2, 1. So the items cost, the total cost, let us quickly find it out. So you see 100 into 3 would be 300. 200 into 2 would be 400. And 300 into 1 would be 300. Now comes the taxes. Taxes were paid on the selling price. Now you see the what has been asked, the ratio of the selling price. So you see, when they have asked you the ratio of the selling price in year 2 to the selling price in year 3, we do not need to calculate all the taxes, because selling price doesn't depend on taxes, right? Because taxes were paid on the selling price. So taxes are independent. I mean, selling price is independent of the taxes. Taxes are dependent on the selling price. So since our question is on selling price, we don't even need to bother about this. So let us directly find the selling price. So what is the selling price? Selling price will obviously be the cost. This must be the cost. Yes, this is cost plus the profit, because we must understand selling price is equal to cost plus profit, right? So let us check. So this must be 540. This must be 696. And this must be 300 is 510. They have asked the ratio of the selling price in year 2 to selling price in year 3 is how much. So the required ratio is 696 is to 510. No, we are wrong here, because the net profit that we have calculated will be dependent on the taxes. So we will have to take the taxes here. So here the selling price that we have calculated right like this is not the correct one. So let us calculate the taxes here. Let us calculate the taxes here. The tax, but how will we do that? Selling price is cost plus profit, but they have said here that net profit is calculated as the difference between the selling price and the sum of the cost of taxes. Okay, so let us find here the selling price plus the taxes. Let us calculate this. So if the selling price is X, if the selling price is X, then the taxes would be, say suppose in the first year, 10% of X. So that is X by 10. So basically we have to say that X must be equal to cost plus taxes plus profit. But how can that be possible? So x minus the tax, that is x by 10, will be equal to cost plus profit. Okay, okay. So let us check this out. This would be a wrong conclusion. Well, that was a pretty tough one for a GATE exam, but nonetheless. So this was wrong, so we have to check out the taxes also. So you see, we do not calculate the selling price like this because this is not the selling price. So let us check out. Say suppose in the first year selling price was X, then the taxes would be 10% of X, that is X by 10. So as far as the criteria that net profit is calculated as the difference between the selling price and the sum of cost and taxes. So we can say X is equal to cost plus X by 10, which is the tax, plus the net profit. So technically speaking, X minus X by 10 is equal to the cost plus the net profit. So basically selling price minus tax is the cost plus net profit. So cost plus net profit, let us make this column. Cost plus net profit. So the selling price is not this. The selling price will be this plus the taxes. Okay. So that would be our 300 plus 240. That is 540. This would be 696. And this would be 510. So now we will have to find what is the selling price. For year 1, x minus x by 10, that is 9x by 10 is 540. So 9x by 10 is 540. So x will be 600. So selling price was 600. For year 2, it is 13%. So basically, x minus 13x by 100, x minus 13x by 100 will be equal to 696. So that is equal to how much? 696. So that is 100 minus 13 would be equal to 87. So 87x by 100 will be equal to 696. So this must go by 8, and yes, it does. So x is 800, and for year 3, it can be seen that x minus the profit, the tax is 15%. So it is 3 by 20x. This must be equal to 510. So that would be equal to 17x by 20. 17x by 20 is equal to 510. So 17 would be 30. So basically that is again 600. So that is 600. So that is the selling price. So the calculations were made like this. This is for the third year. This is for the second year. And this was for the first year. Okay. And hence they have now asked us the ratio of the selling price of year 2 to the selling price in year 3. So that ratio will be 800 is to 600. that is equal to uh, 2, 4 is to 3. So our option would be, this was a really an exceptional one amongst all the questions. This is a good question at that. I had entirely missed this sentence on taxes, and so can the student, and hence in the first attempt we had gone on the wrong track. But I immediately realized whenever I read this taxes were key, and I realized it and I came back. And so this is how it is done. Let's go on to the next one. If theta is the angle in degrees between the longest diagonal of a cube and any one of the edges of the cube, then what is cos theta? Let us draw a cube. See, this is the, and a cube means all the sides are equal, the dimensions are equal. See, the longest diagonal would be this one. This would be the longest diagonal, and make no mistake, it makes an angle of 90 degree with this diagonal. So this is a 90 degree. I mean, this is the 90 degree, not this. This is the 90 degree that it makes. Okay. So they have said along the theta is the angle with any one of the sides. So this must be theta. So they have asked you what is cos theta. Now we know cos theta for any right angle triangle. If this right angle triangle, say A, B, and C, were written like this, then this is the 90 degree and this is theta. So cos of theta would be adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So that would be equal to AB divided by AC. Now, since this is a cube, let us suppose that the side is, let us suppose A. So all of the sides are A, so AB will also be A. So here AB is also A. Now what will be the longest diagonal? Generally the longest diagonal will always be, I hope you understand that the longest diagonal is nothing but, that is AC, would be nothing but a square plus a square plus a square, because it is after all a cube, so all the dimensions are equal, a and a length, breadth and height. So this is the longest diagonal, which is root 3a. So cos theta can be said to actually instead of saying so they have asked you cos theta, so we can say cos theta would be a by root 3a, that is equal to 1 by root. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is how we do it. So that's an end to it. Thank you so much.